Yo, what is good, everybody? How y'all doing? Hopefully well. It's hump day, right smack dab in the middle of the week. I'm gonna put these guys into a little stack. All right, now that we've got the background music sorted, what shall we get up to today? I am planning on working a bit on some presets. I have some finishing touches to put on some presets that are going into one big old pack. It'll be released by Ghost Hack here in the near future. And these are essential type presets, so highly useful, highly relevant, not too experimental, not using too many of the fringe features, mostly focused on good sounds that are highly usable. Which is just simply not the case with a lot of the presets that come with it. So we'll do that. And I also thought that it might be good to start fielding. It might be good to field some questions about AI and everybody's feelings around it. I know that there have been worries for some time now, but I feel like there's been enough time that's transpired and we've seen kind of the direction where everything's going to make some fairly informed decisions about what is and is not realistically still human aligned, if you will. Stuff that humans can actually work on and feel like it's not going to be yanked out from underneath them anytime super soon. And how we can use this period of time to kind of prepare ourselves for what's coming next when a lot of people just aren't going to be working in the same ways that they have been doing in the past. And how all that's going to actually translate for people in regards to survival and boredom and stuff like that. So might be an interesting course of conversation while I'm working on sounds. So what I've done for today is I've grabbed like 50 sounds. It's like about half of the pack. And I'm just going to go through and make sure that I've got all 8 macros programmed for each sound. And that we're hitting a pretty consistent kind of perceived loudness level for the different types of instruments in the pack. So yeah, this is like a finishing touches stage, if you will. What are you guys working on this week out there in the wild interwebs? Hopefully we get a few people showing up today. I have missed a couple of months, all said, this year so far, between surgery and losing the roof on the house and having that redone last month. Gotta rebuild some stuff, you know what I'm saying? All right, let's dive in, shall we? I'm gonna open up Serum. We've got a new OmLab skin coming. Josh has been working on it. Pretty stoked for that. It's going to be a bit of an evolution from the Serum 1 skin that we had for the OhmLab community. So, hoping that's done like in the next month or so. That'd be cool. Maybe we could get it to line up with the release of this pack. And maybe the one shortly after that. The one shortly after, well, maybe not shortly. Probably about 2 months or so after this one drops. There'll be an OhmLab official one that's kind of similar in nature, but a little more left of center. A little more cinematic. All right, so what I've been doing so far is I've just been chucking all of the ones that I feel are kind of in the vein of what I'm shooting for, with just the mainstay features, predominantly wavetable stuff for these first 50, so I can get through them quickly, make sure we've got macros dialed in on all of them, and then we'll do the back 50, the last 50, which have a little bit more kind of advanced stuff happening. So we can kind of sample through these and see what kind of stuff we have cooking. Like I said, it's fairly essential stuff, so handful of atmospheres, a bunch of basses, bunch of leads, bunch of keys, bunch of pads, small amount of sound effects, that type of thing. Not really aiming for the ARPs or the clips in this pack. This is really just about like making stuff that's actually useful, I think. Ooh, and velocity controls. I need to go through and add velocity controls to everything. So let's listen to some of these basses here. Actually, you know, I should go from top to bottom. Let me just check the other atmospheres really quick so I have a good sense of exactly what kind of work I have in front of me. So like this one right here, I still have 5 macros I need to get set up. We got to get this one kind of beefed up too so it can have kind of a more focused presentation, not just subtlety. This one's nice. It's got kind of like a sci-fi kind of monster vibe or something. Probably good for some D&B, techno, bass music, that type of stuff. This one's good. This was actually one of the proof of concept patches that I started building for a pack that's just entirely like really high-end cinematic textures and soundscapes. I've had to set it aside for a short while. But they're pretty great once you start layering like full chords and stuff. Nasty. This one's got some serious heat in it. Big bark. Oof. Oof. Bang. All right. Yeah, after those last two, this one feels a little pushed back, doesn't it? That feels better. Yo, what up, WMB? How you doing, homie? Happy Wednesday to you. Ooh. You just submitted an application for lead gen AI developer. Ooh. You want to share who that's with, or gonna wait until you see if things pan out or not? Yeah. All right, let's keep cooking here. Let's add a little velocity control to this. As for an insurance company. Oh, that's great. Your insurance plan is literally with an insurance company, which is so fantastic. So fantastic. It's great. great sound, good volume, but I don't have any of the macros done yet. So let's do that. Let's do that. And I think it also deserves to have just a little something up top too. Let's see if we can find a little digital sound here. Maybe a little triangle-ish kind of thing. Let's tuck this in here. Gives it a nice little wooden knock, doesn't it? Okay, now we can start playing with that a bit. Okay, so our main tone is coming from this 4088. So maybe what we'll do is we'll spritz up oscillator B. Okay, so this FM thing is kind of interesting. So let's roll with that, actually. Let's say we're going to do kind of that at its peak point. All right, so we've got a little FM control here. And let's also just play with the shape here. Hey, Wolfie's here. How you doing, Wolf? Good to see you, homie. How are things over there? Let's play with the shape, like I was saying. Kind of that that contrast of having one softened with all the attack taken off and the other one staying kind of sharp. That's nice. Waking up like absolute garbage. Oh no. Oh, you need coffee. Do I prefer Serum 2 over the first one? Well, I think there's a lot of growing pains that Serum 2 is experiencing right out the gate because a lot of really heavy duty features were added. And it was not optimized very well, and I think just kind of riddled with bugs. So in that sense, it's a bit rough because there's still a lot of stuff that I would like to do with all these new features, which I really can't because it just throttles the computers in various ways. Um, but that said, the improvements to the audio, the real FM, moving away from the phase modulation into frequency modulation entirely, adding the new effects rack and routing has really changed a lot of stuff. Being able to stack um, multiple instances of the same effect, having buses involved, being able to save racks, all that stuff is really helpful. The new modulation engine is awesome. So there's a lot of really good improvements. So definitely Serum 2 over Serum 1 in that sense. I do have a deep desire to see all of the optimization stuff happen though. Yeah. So these sounds that I'm making today are all going into an essentials pack for Ghost Hack. Because a lot of the presets that come with it are kind of taxing on a lot of people's systems. So I wanted to make a lot of kind of lightweight sounds that feel really good. Highly responsive. All right, let's play with the timbre here. Let's just give this guy a little sub control down here. Find a nice happy spot for it. That feels a little more responsible. All right, this whole thing's starting to move a little bit. All right, let's give this some velocity control here. And let's also actually let's take this off of the mod wheel and instead we'll just put a simple vibrato over there, but we'll keep it kind of mellow. All right, so we got a little vibrato in there, get a little wiggle. Domavai, how you doing, homie? Happy Wednesday to you. Yeah, well, and also, Serum is a home baked project. Steve Duda has basically written everything himself entirely at his kitchen table for Serum One. For Serum Two, there were other people involved, um, and that created huge opportunities and also things to work around, right? Because now there's like a huge budget and, like you said, deadlines and schedules, um, and he did all of it as a free upgrade for everyone. So it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. All right, let's get the timbre written in here. Domovai, what kind of favor you got, huh? Yeah, so if you have Serum 1, then you get Serum. Yeah, so you get Serum 2 for free. Everybody who has Serum gets Serum all over again. And you get a whole bunch of new features. And depending upon what kind of rig you have, like you'll have varying results, right? Like people that have kind of more entry level computers definitely have more problems with just CPU and functionality with the synth in general. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of really good stuff floating out there for it already. Um, it's good stuff. And you can load all Serum 1 presets in it, which is also super great. So you can just take all the sounds that you already have, that you've made yourself or picked up along the way, and kind of upgrade the sound immediately on all of those, which is pretty great. That was a fun moment. Ooh, I want just a little bit of kick in this drive here. Let's just give this a little punch. Ooh, ooh, yeah, that's got a nice little knock. Like it. All right, we gotta tap these peaks, so let's go get them. There we go. Peaks are gone. Or for the most part, anyway. All right, so back to timbre. Back to timbre. Let's start dialing this in here. I'm just going to start dropping these. Okay, so timbre is dialed in. Let's go and deal with delay here. Is this background music bugging you guys? All right, so we're going to bring this down and we're going to bring it back up via a macro, and we're also going to just tease this feedback a bit more so it's a little more dynamic. Call that one delay. Yes, you do have a rather powerful rig, so I'm sure that this upgrade will be huge for you. Wolfie saying, I just had a funny thought. You get booked for a huge show at a stadium with several thousand people showing up and just instead play around with presets the whole night. Oh, man. That's terrible. Can you imagine being in the audience for that? Oh, man. That'd really be something. Right? Let's pump up the width on this as we crank this reverb knob. You know what? It feels weird that there is this. That's better. Sorry, the floor was a little too audible for me there, I think. All right, let's get a little more of the low end out of the verb here. All right, let's just drop this a bit more. We're going to go down with it just in a quick pluck, and that's going to create just a little bit more space. For the original signal to fly through there. Little quick duck. Okay, so back to timbre. Imagine trying to mosh to that. Oh, man, right? Oh, gosh. That's hilarious. All right, so probably some saturation on this guy. I got to figure this out. And got some. I'm just going to double down. We're going to add a second distortion. We'll do it after this EQ. All right, so this guy. Stomp box. All right, we got to saturate there, and we're going to come back here. We're going to take this guy here. We're going to add another distortion. Just maybe just a simple little sine fold here. Or just a couple percent. Just a tiny, tiny bit. And then we can aux this assignment with velocity. And that way, when we hammer on these notes just a little bit more, we're rewarded with just a touch of throatiness in our notes. So let's go make that happen really quick. We're going to go back into the matrix and scroll down. We're going to find that assignment we just made, and we're going to put an aux source in there, and we're going to call it What am I looking for? Where is it? There it is. Velocity. Hey, Saf. How you doing, homie? I know it has been a while, huh? Oof. Okay. Little bit of filter control. We'll call this good. Bring that back a bit. Ah, oof, eek, yikes. Wow. Wow. I think what we're going to do is we're going to make a little happy compromise. We're going to bring our resting point down for our cutoff. We'll open this up to about halfway. Ooh, yeah, there we go. That was the right choice. Let's take this out of mono for a minute here. I think we're going to take this out of the bass category. And I think we'll just put it in the synth category. Because I think it can handle being moved around a little bit. We'll put cutoff in here, and we will call this one good. Shape, timbre, cutoff, saturate, FM, delay, sub, and reverb. And we're just going to rebrand this. Instead of a bass prism, we're going to call this a synth. Tidy that up a little bit. I'm just going to go grab that other one. Bass, 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 prism. This one. I'm going to get rid of that. Keep the other one. Did I already ask you guys if this background music is annoying? I think I did. Well, if it sounds like it's getting in the way of the sound design, you guys let me know. All right, so I'm going to go back in. I was at about... That means I was here. Razor. I think this one's probably actually pretty good. Throwback. For let's see here. Let's just move those over. And then we'll move. Number 2. Get that over to 5. And we'll move this one down 1. Okay, now we've got a little more consistency with our normal layout. Get our delay over here and our reverb over here. Endless, how you doing, homie? Hey, Domovai, I looked right past your comment earlier. Congrats on kicking smoking, dude. Sav says, chatting about surviving in the AI. I honestly don't mind asking it to give me some ideas for processing chain. I hope nobody attacks me because I asked for it for processing ideas or automation tricks. Yeah, I really don't see any problem with that, honestly. Like it's a resource, it's a tool. If you become too dependent upon it in some way, then what you end up losing is your ability to kind of generate those things yourself, but it doesn't stop anything else, right? I think the bigger concerns for most folks is how do they keep making money and stuff? Like if they are making money with music right now, like how do they keep doing that as everything starts to kind of slip out of their control currently? Yeah, Domovai is saying the same thing. As long as you use it to enhance yourself and not offload your own cognition, go for it. Saf saying, I think it did help pinpoint problems and open up creative possibilities. I still use the parameters to my own advantage. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It is a tool, but almost most dangerous tool in history. Yeah, we'll see how it all unfolds. It probably is the most dangerous, other than maybe money. Money has been a pretty powerful tool. It definitely changed the way the world worked, right? But once it's been introduced, probably a lot like AI, the world as a whole, like in general, will probably see it as almost kind of crippling to think of the world without AI, the same way that thinking about the world without money would be kind of crippling as well. Like, oh, well, then how would all of these things take place, right? Because people are just quickly offloading all sorts of tasks and responsibilities and expectations onto these automations of various types. So if we were to start having a conversation 5-10 years from now about, yeah, what if we just took all those automations out? We'd probably have some pretty strong reactions from people. Domavai saying convenience breeds laziness. The smart expand their horizons, and the average become dependent. I would agree with that. I think that there are people who are innately curious about what happens what happens when I turn this knob. That's one thing. But then there's also like this kind of deep desire for understanding, and that's different than curiosity. What happens when I turn this knob? That's curious. Oh, wow, that happened. But a desire for deeper understanding is like, what is about to happen when I turn this knob? And why did that occur? Right? And the reason why a lot of people never go there is because that rabbit hole is so big that it number one, it's kind of confounding to people to sit and think about how certain things actually operate. Um, it's like an engineer mindset, and most people just can't go through their days like that. Um, but you can kind of just kind of extrapolate that same kind of thinking across all of these different parameters of you know human interest, human ability. I think it's pretty easy to see how things are going to unfold if people just turn to it and treat it like they did Google searches. I think that, if like, let's take Saf's use of AI as an example, because I think that this is pretty um, typical, right? It's an opportunity to gain a deeper understanding about modulation schemes and types of processes and what those specific processes are actually doing to the sounds, right? Like, why do I choose a flanger instead of a phaser here? And you could actually have a fairly coherent conversation about that topic with AI, because it's going to meet you where you are language wise, right? Um, so like the nomenclature, the slang, the way in which you are engaging with the conversation really matters, right? And like, to be perfectly frank, there are a lot of jerks in the industry. There are a lot of people that act as though they fell right out of their mama's knowing music theory like it was nothing, and knew how to program a synth before they knew how to use a fork, which none of those things are true, but they act like it. And that really hurts the people seeking uh, guidance, right? Mentorship, anything, any kind of like, uh, you know, lack of pretense in all of this. So I think that for a lot of people, it's a way to cut right through embarrassment or befuddlement or ignorance about certain topics or tools, and get right to the heart of the matter, right? Like, this is a way easier um, way to get to the simple answers of things that used to take hours searching Google or YouTube for, right? And then to get a deeper understanding by being able to apply that in your own music is pretty cool. So I don't see it as anything that's negative, asking, a chatbot questions about like how you could do something processing wise or modulation wise or whatever. But I do think that there's a level of cognition, like that there's a level of critical thought that's involved in the creative process, right? And fiddling along the way is really what gets you there. It's what helps you understand how it's all working and how to get things acting differently, to get them to better align with what you're actually trying to accomplish. And I think that that's why we end up doing all these things in the first place. So is because it's deeply satisfying and gratifying to have these really positive outcomes and to be able to express uh, these different ideas or explore these different ideas or things that inspire you. um, and AI doesn't really have any kind of understanding about any of those things. It just has a lot of uh, ability to um, meet you where you are. Like I was saying earlier, right? From the AI perspective, everything is adjacent. So it can it can help you understand through um, I guess carefully selected language more than anything else, right? To kind of circumvent the hurdles that we have in front of ourselves constantly. That said, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that you can't depend on AI for, which is great. which is really, really great because this is where we can actually still have like a niche carved out for ourselves in the industry that's actually fairly protected. Like heavily layered stuff, more complex um, programming of things or assembly of things. Not complex in the way of we're just going to go throw more at everything, more notes, more processes, nothing like that. More like complex thought wise, right? So people who are very understanding and passionate about music theory can arrive at these very specific outcomes that are incredibly emotionally rich. And they do this through modes and borrowing and stuff, but other people can accomplish it through sound design, perhaps, right? So there's multiple ways at which you can approach these things, and I think that that right there is where you have your space to survive. Hey, Bako! How you doing, homie? I think that everybody has. You guys respect the gazelle, by the way. I think everybody has very like specific ideas and skill sets that belong to them, and then we all kind of become homogenized over time as we all try to create and recreate other things that other people have done to kind of prove our ability or to gain understanding of tools or whatever it is along the way. And a lot of people allow that to kind of smooth their edges, smooth over their roughness, their imperfections, their uniqueness, right? And I think that that's the stuff that you actually want to hold on to. That's the stuff you actually want to hold on to. So there is a group of people right now that are getting started with making things creatively with their computers, and they are going to approach this a little bit differently than everybody else. They really truly are. They're going to be using AI as a collaborator, and it's not going to have any kind of stigma attached to it or anything like that. And it's going to cut right through all of the gatekeeping and attitude and ego and everything that humans put into play that sabotage things, right? Now, that said, there's like a million and one things that are great about working with people, and you have to work with people. But getting to know the tools, getting to know exactly how AI is helping other people or helping you achieve the stuff that you want can also kind of shine a light on the areas in which it is weak, right? Or the things that it can't help very much with, right? And those are the things that you can really flex. Those are the things that you can really kind of pour your energy into. And if you look at like market reports from the different licensing marketplaces and stuff, and you can see like popularity trends about what types of sound searches are trending versus what type of sound downloads are occurring and that type of thing. And you can quickly see that there's big gaps. There's really big gaps, right? So like a riser, an AI chatbot can make you a little riser, right? And it'll sound super generic, right? And kind of cartoonish or something, right? So getting something fluid and organic and kind of interesting, human flair. Boom. You can do that. You can build risers that are more complex and interesting, right? Now add to that if you're actually sculpting the sounds and sound effects to the project that you're building, right? And not doing this asynchronously, as AI does all of its tasks, then you have yet one more advantage over the AI because you are now sculpting something in real time for this very specific moment, right? So there's this word, moment. And there is this idea that I've been riffing on recently, which is it's tough for AI to be in the moment with folks emotionally in the creative sauce. it can be there very analytically, and it can be there very logically, and it can analyze and using logic try to pick apart something that is emotional, and also reference lots and lots of uh, commentary from humans about emotions and these different triggers for emotions. But what it can't do is engage with all of these extraneous ideas about color and texture, and the more kind of abstract things that are hard to put into words. They're felt, right? And those are all of the things that allow stuff to really stand out in a moment. It really truly is. So you guys out there that are making a lot of stuff yourself, a lot of people are, right? A lot of sound design is happening in-house these days. You do have a leg up over AI in this sense. The other thing that I would say in regard to all of this is that stems, and you've probably heard me say this a few times over the past several months or half a year, stems are becoming more and more and more important. And it's kind of funny how as we're gaining more clarity and quality in the AI world with audio output, um, people are gaining skills and tools in equal measure at the same time, and they're finding that they can get more from human content as long as they have access to the individual parts. They can achieve far greater outcomes for their brand, for their scenes, for whatever, uh, than settling for what is generated. So here's your other big leg up over AI right now. Okay, so you've got the human complexity and emotion stuff, and you've got layered sounds, and you've got um, um, the ability to work with uh, the pieces of the music individually as stems, as individual sounds. And those can have incredibly rich, nuanced characteristics in them, right? That's a little tougher. That's a little bit tougher uh, for AI to pull off right now. And I think that there is a great deal of growth ahead there for people, especially if they're moving away from perfection and more towards human. I think that this is the other kind of underpinning of all of this is um, there's a strong desire for imperfection, not just weird or uncanny, right? And the honeymoon phase is quickly um, ended with all the weird kind of stuff, right? The kind of shock and awe uh, type stuff. So now it's really about like, hey, how can we work with AI with intention? Um, and now humans, it's already easy to work with intention. So I think that you've got kind of this matrix, if you will, that you can look at, right? Pretty analytically, pretty logically, and figure out these little uh, opportunities for yourself in places that you're already working. Right, you can take and expand upon content that you're already producing, and probably earn way more than you ever have right now from it. Um, uh, as an additional benefit of AI, just simply because all these different marketplaces and platforms have implemented AI search um, parameters and things like this that allow your content to be more accessible. So it's not all doom and gloom. It's not all doom and gloom. There's actually quite a bit of opportunity for folks. Hey, Haycor, how you doing, homie? How you doing? Design is an art, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Bako says the things that people create with AI will be greater than anything AI alone could create. Yeah, I think so. I think that every single time AI and humans engage with one another, the potential increases. And every time um, AI is operating on its own, um, without additional human direction, it's only ever going to be exploring the pre-existing potential. There might be new kind of discoveries or awareness of things within all of that, but it's all pre-existing. So that's the other thing that humans have is the ability to make these big leaps, these big kind of non sequitur kind of hard turns that don't have any rhyme or reason or logic to them. It's whether it's an intuition or a random tick or a mistake or whatever, those things are things that don't really happen uh, intentionally with AI. So there's plenty of opportunity for people still. But if you do go down the path of all doom and gloom thinking about all of this, then you're going to stop producing the things uh, that matter to you, and then everything is deflated, and it will literally just all fall apart. Um, and you'll feel probably pretty hollow from it, right? And for it, but if you keep producing something on the regular and uploading, you'll be just fine. You'll be just fine because it's content. And if you can send something through the air to the online realm in a form of content right now, it's good because that's all that's coming next. Saf says, I was looking at one of her lessons about depth, and I put into the chat box that I'm experimenting with depth, and they said uh, they gave me like more ideas to expand on it, like trying to experiment with the idea of creating depth. I mean, there was some things I never thought of, but like honestly, I used a lot of the lessons we learned together, so they just expanded upon it. So I say it's a good tool for helping you get your creative process. Yeah, absolutely, dude. I think that, and again, just kind of coming back to the simple idea of how we speak with one another and to one another matters greatly, right? And if we're speaking past each other, we'll never have good communication, or we'll never have really big epiphanies with each other, or have really great collaboration energy. But someone that really knows how to speak your language can cut right through all of that. So, yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, pervasive, ubiquitous. Yes, I think that humans having to figure out how to stand above it is a pretty interesting concept. I don't know that humans have figured out how to stand above their phones. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's going to be an interesting thing for the masses. I think some of us handle it fine. Ooh, yeah. Mako saying, hey, it's like writing. If you just let the AI write the lyrics of a track, it's bland, boring, generic. But if you write the lyrics yourself, you can make the AI actually quite expressive, but it can't do that alone. Yeah, this is true. Hey, Corsan, I think saying that is the same thing as people back when computers started becoming capable of creating music used to say, this isn't music because you used a computer to make it. At some point, AI is just going to be another tool and people will get really good at it. Like people got really good at using a DAW. But certainly it's not replacing anything. Yo, John Co, how you doing, man? Yeah, here's what I have to say about that. And I've dealt with this forever, right? Hate core, which is like, I mean, just like everybody else, which is dealing with the friends, family, peers, the general public when the topic of MIDI comes up, right? Like, well, you don't really actually know how to play the French horn, right? So the French horn in this song is fake, right? Like you cheated, right? Like that was all fake, right? And you could try to explain to them, it's like, well, actually, to put that French horn in there, I did kind of have to learn how to play piano and then learn the secondary language of a DAW and MIDI and automation and all this kind of stuff, which was way more complex. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into all of it. But I think that um, we're probably kind of starting to run in circles around this idea here now. Junko saying, hey, I learned how to sound design different waveforms in Serum 2 and Vital. Nice. Nice. These sounds here that I'm working on today, these will all go into a big essentials pack for Ghost Tech. Bako saying, I think the primary disconnect that people are having difficulty with is the time and energy invested in becoming a musician, and they perceive the instant generation of music as a shortcut, which it is. But what that means is that you can make bigger and more interesting projects than you could before if you use the tool as a tool. But if you use it as a substitute for creativity, then you're doomed to learning nothing and creating slop. Fact and a half right there. This is it. That's it in a nutshell right there. Yeah. Yeah, and and in some cases that's totally fine. Like if you are someone who needs an image generated for your music and you always cobbled something together yourself, you never paid other people to do it for you, and it was always just something you did, and you find that when you generate something using AI for your stuff, that it actually turns out pretty well. Well, you're communicating with the bot that's getting the better results. So, like, you know what? You are still putting yourself into it, whether you're fully wanting to admit that it is the greater influence at play. Um, Yeah, I don't know. There's just I think there's some gray area for some things too, because a guitarist who's never learned Photoshop and never had anything hanging on a gallery wall probably sees zero offense in having made art for tracks that they're uploading their guitar music with. You know what I mean? Um, So I think there's plenty of ways in which people can use AI cooperatively and benefit from it, and that'll ease some of the anxiety around it too. Marketing. Everybody who struggles could have in the music industry could have a lot of benefit um, from really good marketing help, and boom, there's marketing help in a box for you. You know what I mean? Mm. Mm. Domovai says, in my definition, art communicates something on its own without you being told what it means. Yeah. And it can be coming across as something different for each person too, which is kind of the best. That's true. You have to engage with it. You can't be passive. Yeah, true. Paul is here. How you doing, Paul? I'm doing all right. Good to be back online again. I got first stream in quite a while last Friday, which was good. Got a roof on the house again. Healed after surgery, so things are looking up. Things are looking up. Domovai saying, yeah, making your cult of personality and marketing yourself as a musician is a must. All my musician friends right now do commercial work to fuel their personal projects that don't make any money. Hmm. Haycor says, I want to hear the sound you're making. Let's go do that. Let's get back into some production stuff. Oh, wow, Paul. Bako says, on the topic of people, of paying people, it's not so much the people who never paid an artist to generate a cover. It's the fact that this can all be done by scale and is being adopted by corporations that would previously pay for that kind of work. Those jobs are gone or going. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that these are two huge different use cases, right? Joe guitarist making art for his track, it's a pretty typical use case. Uh, Coca-Cola or Chevrolet or someone like that, um, generating images, like, man, that's got to be taxed. Like, that's got to be taxed so heavily. You know what I mean? Like, and then we've got to figure out a way to make that all fair. So I think it might just be, I think it might just be the bits. I think it just might be the tokens. I think the future is going to be taxing tokens and qubits. I think that might be the way forward. Yeah, no. Bako's saying it's hard to know what to do about that, though. I know shaming people and saying never use it AI again. That's not going to work. Yeah, yeah. No, it's true. It's like telling people. I remember when microwaves first started coming into the house, there were a lot of people that had similar comments about that as they did when McDonald's came to town. I remember when the McDonald's went into the town that I grew up in because I'm old. And then I remember when Burger King came to town. And I remember many, many years later when Taco Bell finally came to town. And like uh, the the doomsayers about those things coming into our town, they were right about certain things, right? And the people that were looking forward to it were also right about certain things. Like, hey, they got new kinds of food they weren't eating before. And the other people that were like, oh, people are going to stop cooking. They're going to eat all this fast food and it's going to change our whole town. And it did. But like it is what it is. You can't really ever really put it back in the bottle. But you don't have to engage with all of it. But it doesn't mean that it isn't affecting the world around you. That's the bigger point. I think that's the bigger point. So you do have to come to terms with it and acknowledge that it is happening and figure out a way to survive in all of it. Just like we all have to figure out a way to survive eating food as humans, even though fast food and all these other things drove up all these costs, right? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I think that if you are currently uploading things to a portfolio, what you can't do is stop uploading things. You need to keep uploading things. But if you haven't improved the way that you're doing it or what you're actually putting in there during this AI era, then you are at best in a static position, but you're most likely falling a little bit further behind each day from where you could have been. And not saying that is like, oh, you got to be super anxious and like super competitive all the time. And it's not about that. It's more just about acknowledging the fact that the growth has to occur now in this content space. Um, it's for many different reasons. For many different reasons, right? Visibility, accessibility, all that kind of stuff. It's so Demify. It's good versus evil out there. Oh yeah, personal discipline. 100% Baco. 100%. Hmm. Paul is saying, yeah, I've got a friend does art installations all over the world. Doesn't need any AI inspiration. All right, I'm going to start hitting some keys over here and see where we were. I forget which one I was working on. Was I working on this one? I think I may have just loaded it and not actually played it yet. Okay. Let's play with the shape on this guy just a little bit here. Yeah. All right, there we go. Danger. All right, let's get our saturation scheme set up here. I have too many things on this rack. Bako saying, hey, it's a good chat. Nice to hear a more middle ground perspective. Everyone seems to be quite polarized on this, and I'm in the mushy middle. Yeah, I think that there's just the truth of the matter, and then there's all the hype on both sides. On both sides. I think there's too many people that don't honestly, truly know, understand, and comprehend exactly what AI actually is and how it works. I think that that's a big part of the problem. And I think that time is another one, that time needs to have a part in all of this. Like, we're temporal creatures. We need the ripples to traverse the pond, so to speak. There's a lot of stuff that we just have no idea, like what comes next or how to deal with it. But if we can get some sort of coherent plan together around the taxation of tokens and qubits as we step into quantum computers and like full on deployment of AI across all industries, then I think we do have a way forward. We're going to have to really figure out some stuff in regards to what to do with people. I think people need to become more civil and civic minded, maybe, in all of this, if they're going to benefit from a universal income. Then they need to be contributing in some other meaningful way toward progress, maybe. There's going to be like some big sea change stuff coming, you guys. It's not just a matter of worrying about content. Like us figuring out how are we going to survive in this big content war? Like that's nothing. That's nothing. Just imagine if all you have ever known, your entire professional life, all you've ever actually truly known and entirely depended upon because of it is inside of a cubicle. Just imagine that. Like reality is crashing in on you right now. Like if you are creative enough and disciplined in skill sets that allow you to create content that is relevant and worthy of people's attention and desire, then you at least have some sort of path forward. But I'll tell you what, if all you've done is type for the past 30, 40 years, then it's not looking good. And we got to figure out what to do with all of those millions and millions and millions of realities in that exact situation there. I keep going back to this line from Domovai. Your worries are, in my opinion, inevitabilities. Oh. Yep. Yeah. Paul has a really good point here. Maybe struggling artists should try collaborating instead of running to tech. Yeah, the the conversation can go on for days and months and years ad nauseum. There are a couple of things that people seem to overlook at the very start of these conversations. One is that AI is only ever used by people, right? So it's people that are using AI to generate these things, right? So that's something that's important to take note of, right? And if it is such a problem that there's literally a billion people using it, then maybe the problem isn't that they're using it and that you don't know what the hell to do about it or think about it or feel about it. I have a I have a huge problem with the global environmental impact of all of it being used at scale by people in average households all over the place that are engaging with this stuff and not actually doing anything with it, right? They're pushing buttons and going, whoa, wow, wow, wow. And it, like, all of that stuff is like, that's pretty awful for the environment and stuff. Like, that's pretty awful. So I think that there's going to have to be some rails, right? Domovai says, past is memory, future is imagination. It's always now. Yeah, that is a good thing to keep in mind. Britboy, very, very valid point, saying being likable has been more important than being good at every job I've had so far. Yeah, that's that's one of the things that's shifting in our world right now. And I think that's maybe one of the things that's really hard for people to get around. I've definitely been hearing this from a lot of people. It goes something like this: but I'm a good person. I've always made the right decisions. I've always done the right thing. I wasn't supposed to be in a losing situation at the end of the race. Yeah. Yeah. So for a lot of people, that whole, I've been a really good guy at work and that's always kept me safe. And that can't really keep them safe because it's about a bottom line that has nothing to do with kindness. It's a pretty interesting thing to put in front of everyone at once. But if you make content and you have the ability to keep making content, you have a path forward. You have a path forward, which is pretty great. That is pretty great. So figure out the ways in which you can identify the niche opportunities in which you can grow and expand your current workflows, to grow and expand your current offerings in ways to grow and expand your overall output, your overall footprint, your portfolio. As long as that keeps getting bigger. Yeah, endless. You're right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, the data centers are huge and they're going up very quickly. It's really unbelievable actually, just how quickly it's all happening. Yeah. Yeah, that's something that you can logically acknowledge, Bako, and still the reality of it is different. Bako saying it's important to remember if you get affected by these changes, none of it is a reflection of you. Um, it's just the changing environment, which is true, but it doesn't change the fact that it's making people homeless very quickly. Yeah, yeah. Good points. Good points in the chat today, you guys. Of course, good stuff. I'm going to save this one and come back to it because I'm not inspired to work on it right now. What about this one? Chords. Let's shape this a bit more. This doesn't feel like it's moving very much. Let's drop this a good 5-10 dB or something. Let's see here. that shape to be a little different here. Let's try this. Bring our sustain down even further, and we'll just extend our decay even further. Saturation assignment here. I need a EQ here. Just gonna take out the bottom end on this guy. Missing sound in my filter. There we go. All right. Wow, 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 wow. Hey, Danny's here. I'm imagining. How are you? Hopefully well. A free emulation of Elise's MIDI verb. Paul is asking, hey, OhmLab, any new hardware in the lab? Good question. Paul, I think you've seen this guy, right? Have you seen this guy? I think you have. This is a Pocket Scion. It's got the ability to clip sensors onto organic matter, like plants or whatever, and have a little biofeedback resonance happen. And this is a pretty interesting little synth right here. Yeah, you did see that. I thought you saw that. You know, I want to say there was something else added recently, and it wasn't just the interface or the computer or... But I'm trying to remember what it was that you haven't seen. Kalimba. I think they've been mostly like kind of small, handheld, kind of percussive type things recently. Are we back? Yeah, we are back to the sound design. We are. Let's put a little velocity control in here. And let's also put Brado in here, but we'll take this. O2, we'll set this up. Let's add a little noise, but we're going to attach this to velocity as well here. Let me just pick out the noise really quick. Okay, we're going to put in a little bit of noise control here, but I'm going to do a couple things with this assignment. First, we're going to go into the matrix and this assignment will be controlled via aux macro 4. And we'll just call this noise. I don't think we need the velocity on it. That's fine right there. Let's get the width up here a bit. We'll bring the damp down a bit. Just really open this thing up a bit. Ooh, there we go. Okay, so here we go. Here's our... vibrato in there. And let's get our velocity dialed in here again. Where are we? Here, velo. Let's get this up just a bit here. That's a little more horn-like. Okay, and anything else I want to do before we move on? Oh yeah, the smooth knob is great, right? Endless. Yeah, I actually saw. Who was it that mentioned it? It was it was Haycore. You're in my head. You're in my head. It's like you're calling the moves before they happen. Imagine it saying, "Oh, lab, doing good, man. Just plugged into the outro. for the final song to be added to the next album. Nice. Finally. Now to dive into client work too. What are you working on today? I am working on polishing, finishing touches on the presets for the upcoming Ghost Hack release. This is going to be an Essentials. It's going to be, I think I'm going to call it Missing Essentials Volume 1. Yeah, the smooth knob is a blessing for ARPs and funky filter sequences, 100%. Yeah, so these are a little less experimental than my norm and a little bit more mainstream focused. I'm trying to keep them really, really relevant for people in this one. So lots of leads, bass, pads, keys, chords, the mainstays. Not so much the sound effects or the drones and the weird ambiences and whatnot. Nothing like the classics, right? Yeah, more than anything, I just felt like people need a lot of really good sounds to play with that are not taxing on the CPU for their Serum 2 adventures right now. I think that's what this pack will end up being for people. A little bit of everything. Low on CPU. All right, I think I'm going to stop on this one for right now, and I will come back to it. So I've broken this up into batches of 50 right now. I'm working on the first 50. I'm just going through, making sure that every sound has 8 macros, that they're all kind of sitting around a decent loudness that's pretty consistent. You know the drill. Ooh, this one's gentle. Welcome in, Rave. Happy Wednesday to you. This one's kind of sitting right in the middle of a couple things for me. I mean, it's got all the knobs. I'm just not really liking where it is right now. I'm going to come back to it. This one's so tiny. Sharp. Yeah, these last two have just kind of a weird, kind of generic feeling to them. Like I stopped in a really weird spot. I try to make these all so like kind of specific where I leave them with their macros. It's a lot of resonance in this. You know, I'm actually going to take this one out. All right, let's see if we can figure out where that's coming from. All right. Gotta respect the gazelle. What's up, Trump? How you doing? Thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate you, homie. How you doing today? You know, this could probably also go up here onto this pan. Man, this thing is so high. still feel like this is just a little pointy up here. I'm going to go ahead and back off of that with a little EQ. And we'll just use a little distortion to shape this just a little bit more. We'll take off these highs here. Maybe reclaim them just a little bit here. There we go. Let's bring that behind our time-based effects. Same with our EQ. Okay, we're going to take our main attack here. We're going to use that to shape our high end just a bit. Yeah, this is like straight out of the 80s here. All right. I'm going to fix that nomenclature later. All right, next. What this guy's all about. Keys, electric. Yo, Trump, I'm just working on some patches for Ghost Hack here. Just putting on finishing touches, making sure we've got all the macros dialed in and all the shapes are right. Oh, what is this? What is that I'm hearing? It's here. It's this guy. let's go in and deal with the bit crush here. We've got this down sample, which is great. And at the same time, we need something to be different about it. Post. Where is that? Got it. I didn't have any control on my noise. There we go. Oh, that's better. All right. Gotta love it when the mystery is solved, huh? And I think it's got just the right kind of oomph in it. Okay, I think this one's in a good spot. We're going to save that. Boom. Next. Paul, take care, homie. This one gets really wild if we take a look at the shape and timbre controls and stuff. Good for lo-fi. All right, so this noise is a little loud, huh? I think I just bumped the wheel by mistake. Okay. Next. Ooh, some soul food. Yeah, what would you do if the world had no wonky knobs, you know? Why do I still have sound here? What's going on here? Oh, there we go. All right, so I'm going to take this all the way back down to 80 or whatever, and then take it all the way back up. Whatever that was, 4, whatever. Somewhere around here. Yeah, that's better. All right. A little bit less plucky. Oh, let's get that fixed. There we go. All right, cutoff assignment. What do we got here? Envelope 1, envelope 1, envelope 1. To cut off, we're going to put velocity control in here. There we go. There we go. I think this one's good. Keys Church. About 3 back to back to back. I'm just going to skip this one for now. I'm kind of over the organ for now. Ah. Yeah, I gotta love the LFO there, right? Okay, I think that sounds pretty good right there. Oh gosh, that's why. Okay, so if we're gonna put some sub in, let's go down here. Just one down. There we go. And we're going to put this here. And we will bring back our low end with our same macro here. Just scoot it on down to about 60 or so. Little sub thickening there. Beefy. Drummer boy, how you doing, homie? It's amazing just how much of that brass feeling goes away when you take away that pitch modulation. So good. All right, I'm going to bring this guy down. Okay, so for our last little addition here. Little extra movement in there. Nice, drummer boy. Get a little creative action in between orders. Oh, this one's pretty close. I'm going to go ahead and save it. Hey, how many have we gotten through here? We've gotten through. Let's see. That was the anthem. That means we've gotten through 20. That's not bad. That's not bad. Finishing touches on 20 presets while we just kind of chill out. Oy. Well, you guys, it is about that time for me. I need to get up and stretch, I think. Get a couple more things done before I got to go pick up the kid today. Let me come over here and see who's doing what on Twitch right now. See if we can raid someone. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's going to be a little while. Oh, Paul! Paul is here. I'm going to go ahead and raid Paul. I'm going to go ahead and start that right now. I appreciate you guys. It's going to take a little while, I'm sure, to get things going again in the middle of the week on these streams after not streaming for a couple of months. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We'll do it again in 2 days' time on Feedback Friday. Make sure you show up early and bring good music with you, and we will listen and give you honest feedback. I will see you guys on the flip. Let's go say hi to Paul. Bye, guys. Appreciate you.